Hey traders, stock market fans, investors, and market enthusiasts from around the world. It's Jeremy Alexander Newsom here in snowy British Columbia, Fernie, Canada. About to go up on the hill and get some skiing and snowboarding in. Just want to let you all know that this was an incredible opportunity to interview Mr. Tom Sosnoff. Had a great time doing it, and I hope you can find some beneficial information in the video and in the recording. So if you have any questions, simply feel free to reach out, let me know. But anyway, enjoy. Thanks so much for the opportunity, and you guys have a wonderful day. Great. So let's go get our guests on for this interview session. And what we're doing right now is just going to ring Tom Sosnoff. He is creating a new exchange, and I would love to hear a little bit more about it, ask him some questions, and just get some intel.
Hello, it's Tom.
Mr. Sosnoff, how are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good, buddy. Thanks so much, man, for taking the time and having some availability to chat with us today.
Cool. Yeah, it's no problem. I just have a bad my voice a little off today because from a cold, but don't worry about that.
Oh man, hope you get feeling better. You've been traveling a lot, just one of those cold
Yeah,
days?
a little travel, shit weather here in Chicago, that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I totally understand, man. Well, you sound good on my end, so I appreciate you taking your time with us today. I want to just do a quick interview and kind of ask you some questions about the exchange that you're working on building. You're a man that doesn't really need much of an intro. So can you just let us know, I mean, why spend all of this time and energy and resources on building an exchange?
Well, first of all, the whole idea of, we feel like we've done a lot in the last 30, 40 years, and part of it is, changing content, and part of it is changing, brokerage and all that, and it's been a big part of our lives. But one of the things we've never done is change the way exchanges interact with customers and how they create products and fees and provide data for customers and how the exchange technology, should look and should work. And it's never been right in my mind. So we plan to build our own exchange to kind of address, all those things, from products to size, to notional size, to volatility, to the way the technology interacts with, with the order flow, to just to the way the customers interact with, the exchange products, and to simplify everything, to standardize everything. And there's basically, in the futures world, there's two exchanges. There's two exchanges with about market cap of whatever, 75 billion each, something like that.
Sure.
And nobody's ever disrupted them. So here we come.
I love it.
That's my thing. Yeah.
Yes. No, you are a disruptor, and you always have been. I'm a huge advocate of Thinkorswim. I use it every day. And of course, with TastyWorks and Tasty Trades, tons of people learning from both of those platforms. So again, thank you, man. Thank you for disrupting the industry, because it needs it.
Yeah. So now we're building technology that, we couldn't build. The technology we built, Thinkorswim at the time was kind of was pretty groundbreaking. And then the technology we're building now with TastyWorks is again groundbreaking, but it's also the content, and it's the way we it's the way we kind of integrate everything together. And then we got fees really low too. So we're trying to make this so that customers have a, true level playing field. But the one part we can't control now is the exchange. So we're going to try to control that too. And then we'll have the full circle.
So how
that's
is it?
Kind of,
No, that makes tons of sense. I mean, how can you explain to people, how is it different than TastyWorks? Like, what is an exchange versus a broker?
Well, TastyWorks. So TastyWorks is a brokerage firm. TastyWorks, is essentially the front end. It's how individual investors, and TastyWorks is only for individual investors, not for professionals or anything like that. So it's how individual self-directed investors go from kind of thought process to actual execution. And you have to go through a broker to fill your orders. And to be able to access the various exchanges and to do whatever it is you want to do on any of those exchanges, because we support stock options, futures exchanges, futures options. We're about to support digital currencies, and so everything else. And that's how customers get from thought to to execution. So they have a real risk on. But exchanges are different. Exchanges are essentially facilitators, and exchanges they make a small amount of money from every time somebody trades their products, and that's really their model. They're designed to sit there and to facilitate, liquidity, which is very different. Brokerage firms don't facilitate liquidity. Brokerage firms just bring orders to the marketplace, which adds liquidity, but they don't facilitate liquidity. Exchanges just facilitate, buyers and sellers and traders, and they provide the technology to do that. So that's what we're doing. We're building all brand new exchange technology. We're building a technology. It's just on exchanges. It's called a matching engine, and we're building all brand new matching engines, not using any existing ones that are on the marketplace. And we're combining those matching engines with all brand new products that we created ourselves, and all with much smaller notional value. So they're much smaller products. That's why we call it the small exchange.
The smallexchange.com.
Yeah, and also we're doing something else that's really different from what anybody else has ever done before. We want this to be a customer exchange because it's for customers. So we want it to be a customer exchange. So we're offering subscriptions to the exchange for $100, which is as low as we could possibly make it. Now they're not investments, although they do turn into seats. When we eventually launch the exchange in probably 8 or 9 months, these subscriptions will become seats on the exchange. But the seats aren't designed to appreciate and value just because they're exchange seats. They're designed to give discounts to the customers on exchange fees. So we're trying to find ways to have customers getting exchange fee discounts and data fee discounts so that they can trade really inexpensively. And at the same time, we would have hopefully more individual self-directed investors as exchange subscribers than anybody's ever done before. And so so far everything's going great. And so we hope to have a ton of subscribers by the time we launch.
That is super interesting. When did you come up with this idea? Like, when did it pop in your head?
About 15 years ago.
I love it.
It was probably in about 2005, and we started to work on, as our brokerage firm was growing, we started to say, hey, there's products we need to create out there. There's products we need to create. And some of those products, because my thought process going back about 15 years was that the current exchanges, the notional size of futures products is just simply too big. And the way futures exchanges have their option markets. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to build smaller products, higher implied volatility, that would allow individual investors, that have $25,000 or $50,000 accounts to access a futures marketplace. Mm-hmm. Sounds like I'm dying. I know. I'm sorry, man. Sorry, Jeremy.
It's okay, Tom.
I should move out of this room with this crazy air conditioner. But I've been traveling this whole last couple of weeks, and coming back to Chicago, being awfully cold, it just messed me up.
No, I get it, man. The travel bug is a real thing. It is a real thing, especially putting into the grinder, because the changing of the weather has been so wild recently. It has been so intense.
Well, pretty soon we'll be trading weather, so.
Oh no.
Yeah, we won't offer it right away on our exchange, but you will have weather futures. I mean, they exist today. They're not very popular.
Right. They're not very popular, not very liquid.
But yeah, no, there's nothing there. But, over time, there's going to be products. I mean, people will be trading, there'll be political things, there'll be sports events, there'll be cannabis and digital, and there'll be lots of different things for people to get excited about.
I got a question for you, Tom, that maybe only you might be able to answer. When do you think, if you had to hypothesize, that we have a 24-hour equity market? I know it's coming. So when is it going to happen, do you think?
I don't know. They thought about it. They thought about it a long time ago. They tried to do it a couple times. The problem with the 24-hour equity market is somebody's got to make markets. Mm-hmm. And the equity marketplace is not as purely electronic as, some of the other marketplaces are. So there's a lot of scattered market making. So, it all just comes down to how much money can these firms make by making markets overnight. It's, already, certain firms, two and other places make markets all night long, but nobody trades them, but they make markets all night long. I think that the simple answer is, it's a matter of time. Mm-hmm. How much they actually trade at night, it won't be that much, but it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, it has to be. I mean, that was just right around the corner.
Well, getting back to kind of like what you're talking about with the exchange, I'd be interested to know just from an entrepreneurial business owner experience and perspective, what was your number one challenge in creating this exchange?
Finding the time to do it, really just finding the time. We build a lot of things, and this is not, we know this is going to cost a lot of money. So, we just know it's going to cost a lot of money. So we just wanted to make sure we were in a position where A, we had the resources to be able to do it, and B, we had the right partners already lined up, which we do, which we think we have now, and C, that we could put the right people in place. That includes the right technologists. We wanted to know that we could drive 25 or 50,000 customers to this exchange to essentially ensure success, and that's what was really important to us.
That makes sense. I mean, because really, realistically, the failure would be of this exchange if a lot of people just don't simply use it, right?
Sure. Well, any exchange, the risk is, there's only been a few attempts at people trying to build exchanges, and virtually all of them have failed for a number of reasons. One, because they couldn't attract anybody to use them, of course, and mostly because their model was they would just charge cheaper fees but try to come in with the same products. Because everybody looks at the exchanges as they're all like these institutional, places to go to hedge and all these institutional guys, all that kind of stuff. But the reality, what we thought is, we don't give a crap about institutional customers and any of that stuff. All we care about is individual investors. So we're going to build an exchange strictly for individual investors, and we're going to bring them ourselves.
Yeah.
And hence the idea for the small exchange came. So our products are called the smalls, so you can trade the smalls. And, that's, and hopefully, we've got some great firms lined up to do the market making, and we've been raising capital, and so we feel pretty good about, our situation. Our technology, man, it's killer. And we have this crazy subscription, thing that we're doing. And like I said, our matching engine, I don't think anybody's ever seen anything like it. So it's going to change the way people trade futures and the way they do futures and options and everything else. So, I don't know if how great our products are or not, but they're definitely different, and they're completely standardized. Do you trade futures right now?
I do. Yep. I trade the E-minis on Thinkorswim.
Okay. So like when you trade, well, you should be trading on TastyWorks, but when you trade E-minis, and then let's say you go trade NASDAQ futures, right? Mm-hmm. And the difference between the two is that, one's $20 a point, one's $50 a point, right? Mm-hmm. And then if you ran over and you trade bonds, you're talking about, $31.25 a point, and they're still using fractions. Then if you run over and you trade crude oil, it's 10 cents a tick. Mm-hmm. And then if you flip to British pound, it's, $6.25 a tick. And then if you go to the euro, it's $12.50. So every product I just named is completely different tick sizes.
Right.
And most of them have different expiration cycles too, right? It's all crazy. And so the reason most people trade regular listed options is because of all the little, the non-standardization of the current futures marketplace. And then if you go to trade at the ICE, they just rip you off blind with, ridiculous fees.
Yep.
So for quotes and everything like that. So I said, you know what? Screw all this. We're going to build a standardized exchange. All the products have the same expiration date. They're all going to be cash settled. Whoa. They're all going to have the same tick size. They're all going to be, so anybody that trades any product we have, it's all the same.
Wow. That's huge, man. That is exceptionally exciting.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. And you can be part of it. I mean, for $100, you open an account at TastyWorks. If you open an account at TastyWorks, we give you the membership. And if you don't want to do that, you just, you pay $100 and you get the subscription, and it's going to be, and we'll see what happens. And if you don't even want to do any of that, fine. Just use the exchange when it comes out.
Tother. Is that $100 a week, a month, a year? One time?
And forever.
One time
forever.
Wow.
Never any other fees or anything else. I mean, there will be for the people that buy subscriptions at a later date once we get exchange approval. Sure. This is like kind of a pre-build price. Mm-hmm. So we're doing it, we're trying to do it so we want to give back to all of our customers that have been really good to us, and that's why we're doing it.
What brokers will initially be linked to this exchange? Will it be all of them, or will it just be TastyWorks? I
have no idea. So, I mean, obviously TastyWorks, yep. And one of our other sister companies, Doe, and one of our partners in the deal is Apex, which is a clearing firm, and there's like probably 1 million customers at Apex through all these different firms, but they're partners of ours in the deal. So because they're owned by Peak Six, and Peak Six is TastyTrade's partner in the small exchange.
Mm-hmm.
And, as for the other big firms, we don't know. We're going to talk to them all.
Right.
We're going to talk to everybody. We'll talk to TD, we'll talk to E-Trade, we'll talk to Schwab, we'll talk to Fidelity. We'll talk to everyone. Whether or not they come on board, I have no idea. We think the commodity firms will come on board for sure. Most of the commodity brokers, but whether the big, online brokers come over, it remains to be seen. I assume they will. And if they don't, we're just going after all their customers to trade futures.
Sure.
So, it's in a crazy way, we kind of hope that they don't, because then we're just going to go get their customers.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, if you want to trade the small exchange, you got to come over to us.
Man. Well, it's a good approach, definitely a good goal. I have a trader who's asking a question. His name is Robert Falco. He says, do you ever see a broker going to a flat fee for unlimited trades or a large set amount, similar to like data subscriptions being unlimited now?
It's been tried before, actually, and it's not a very effective. It's been tried, so it actually exists already. There's a couple of firms that have tried that around the world. One firm tried it in India, one firm tried it here in the U.S. The problem with it is that it ultimately doesn't just come down to fees. It comes down to things like, content. It comes down to things like content. It comes down to things like, how good is your technology? How fast? Like our platform, for example, TastyWorks. It's built on high frequency technology. It's 25 milliseconds to fill an order. It's like a high frequency firm. The closest retail platform is probably 20 times slower, but people don't know that. It's just today you want to be with the best content and the best technology, and then we already don't charge for closing trades, so we only charge to open. We don't charge to close.
Right.
So we're already at that point where, there's not much more room left.
Sure.
Fees have been crazy commoditized. Fees are almost a non-event right now.
They agreed. And that's what's.
I used to trade. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. I was going to say that's what was the broker that did that first? Was it really Robinhood, or was there another one that really just came in and really disrupted that whole commission fee structure?
Well,
issue?
the one who's disrupted commission was us at TastyWorks, because we went to the zero on the zero to close, and that lowered everybody's. We reduced the fees from like TD and Schwab and those places by almost 60-70%, but Robinhood went to the zero model. But then again, their customer is very different. Their average account size is probably, not much more than a few $100s, as opposed to, so it's a very different model. Robinhood is a total outlier, meaning that they've done something that's amazing. Listen, they built a $5 billion company, or whatever the valuation is. It's remarkable. So I consider them an outlier. I think that's incredibly hard to do, what they did. I don't like their. I love what those guys have done. As a trader, I couldn't use their platform.
I can respect that. No, it makes tons of sense, and that's. Hey, like you mentioned, they did something big, but the closing cost, the zero closing cost with TastyWorks is absolutely huge, no question.
Yeah.
And that's if you're profitable or not, right? That doesn't mean like if you sell an option, you want to buy it back. That means anytime you open an option and you go to sell that option, there's no closing cost on the sale.
Yeah, no matter what you do, if you open or close first. And we do one other thing. You're going to love this, Jeremy. We cap everything at $10 max. So if you trade 10 contracts, let's just say it's $10 to open, nothing to close. But if you trade 100, it's still $10 to open, nothing to close. You trade 1,000, $10 to open, nothing to close. So effectively, we've capped everything at $10. We've been doing that for 2 years now.
I love it.
So we have no closing. We have no closing. Let's say you did a 50-lot iron condor. We charge $40 total.
Yeah.
No, but everybody else is like 150, 200 for that same trade, maybe even more than that. Who knows?
What type of kickback did you get from other brokers when you started doing that? I'm sure you got some nasty emails, some nasty grams.
They don't. They've always hated us. Every single broker hates us. Every single. Listen. I don't get invited anywhere. I don't care. What the hell? I'm not friends with those guys.
Capitalism 101. Right?
Yeah, I don't. I assume they respect us because we're really good at what we do, but I don't know. I don't care if they like me. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
As long as they don't run me over in the street, I don't give a rat's ass. They don't. We don't have. We're a very closely held private firm, and we don't. We really don't care what other firms think of us.
Oh man, I love that. It's a great attitude to have. Just pure, just helping the people. I mean, you've mentioned that a few times. Individual investors,
We're very
individual
customer
investors.
focused. We're an advocate for retail investors. We've been that way for 20 years. We've definitely changed the way every firm interacts with customers, from getting rid of the stupid call-in fees, to getting rid of ticket charges, to getting rid of closing trade fees, to free IRA accounts, to being able to trade whatever you want in your IRA, to adding complex spreads, to adding futures in IRAs, everything like that. We've changed everything in this business. So it's been great. It's fun.
Is TastyWorks available in Canada?
No.
How do we make that happen? Not yet. Okay.
We're working on it.
Okay.
We're working on it.
Got it. What about other countries, or is it just U.S. based right now?
We are just about to get licensed in Australia, so we're approved. We just haven't signed off on margin yet, but we got all the approvals. So TastyWorks Australia is about to open, and we have a team in Sydney, and so. Other than that, we have 65 other countries which we're already taking customers from, and we just added Colombia today. So throw Colombia on the list. So 66 countries, and we are going to be licensed in Australia, and then eventually we're going to be licensed in Canada. We're working on it right now.
Okay, well, that's very good to know. I mean, that's Canadians. If they're not using interactive brokers or maybe TD Ameritrade, through Thinkorswim, they don't really have any other options. Why I say that? I mean, you can use some CFD brokers.
Yeah, it's really tough in Canada. The Thinkorswim platform that we built, when we sold Thinkorswim to TD Ameritrade, we had to sell Thinkorswim Canada to TD Bank, and so that was part of the obligation. So we didn't really even get paid for it, but it was part of the deal. So they own the Thinkorswim Canada. So TD Ameritrade actually can't go to Canada, part of their deal with TD Bank. So, that's one of the platforms up there. There's, they need our platform up there. We're gonna lower fees, and we're gonna try to. Canada's our largest audience outside of the U.S., so we're definitely gonna get to Canada. We've had trouble finding a clearing firm.
Yeah,
we now have a clearing firm, but we couldn't find anybody that would clear us.
Yeah, that's the challenge for sure. And I want to go back to, not to necessarily focus all about TastyWorks. You're welcome to talk more about the small exchange, but I do want to focus on what you mentioned about IRAs, because I want some people to know about that.
Sure.
In TastyWorks, what can you do in an IRA that you can't do in, let's say, Schwab, for example?
Oh, well, a lot of things. First of all, I'm not even sure what you can do in Schwab, but but just you can choose any kind of option spread that you want in an IRA account at TastyWorks. I don't know what the limitations are in Schwab, but we're also about to permission futures and futures options in an IRA, and I know you can't do that in Schwab. But the thing that really stands out is we let you sell naked calls in an IRA, and they do not let you. They for sure do not let you do that.
Interesting. What about naked puts or selling?
Oh, naked puts, sure.
Wow.
There is no margin in the IRA account. There's no margin.
Right.
So the one thing you can't do is borrow money in an IRA account. That nobody can allow. That's the whole thing with IRA accounts. They're individual retirement accounts, but they don't allow for margin. But you can sell naked calls with us. You can sell naked puts. You can. We fought for naked calls for 2 years. Naked calls, naked puts. Like I said, we're about to launch futures and futures options, and any kind of option spread that you want.
Who are you fighting with when you say we're fighting to do naked calls? Is that FINRA?
Oh, that would be regulators. Those are regulators.
Gotcha.
Lawyers and regulators, and just trustees, and trying to get it's one thing to say, hey, we can do this. It's another thing to find a trustee to allow you to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't have the back end technology set up to monitor the risk, that kind of stuff. So we have to take on a lot of responsibility.
Where's the next place that some of our listeners can find you, Tom? The next place that you might be doing a presentation? Because the last time that we connected was up at the Money Show in Chicago. That was all the way back in July. Do you have anything else coming out around the corner?
So we got a crazy schedule on the Tasty Trade site. There's an events page, and you can see. But we're all over the place. We're like, we're a hot mess when it comes to travel. We are going to be next show is going to be in Dallas a week from Saturday. Then I'll be in Peoria at Bradley University 3 days later, if anybody's in central Illinois or southern Illinois. Then we'll be Traders Expo in New York City in early March. And then we'll be in San Diego and Las Vegas. So he said, she said, that's our own shows at the end of March. And then we go straight through April and May and June, and then we just keep going all year.
Just keep grinding.
Well, our live shows are a big part of our business.
Yeah.
So every other weekend we do a live show somewhere. So every other weekend we're on the road.
Wow. Every other weekend. That's fantastic, man. I love your schedule, and I do want to let everyone know that that's I have spoken to, I think it was Melanie at TastyWorks as well, and I'll include some links if anybody wants to sign up for a TastyWorks account, at least try it out. You heard it here from the man. I mean, it's a great platform. Does it have OCO orders yet? I know that's one thing for advanced option traders. Like if you get into
we're about to add OCOs. So we haven't added them yet, but they're built. We're just testing them right now, so they should be added very soon.
Beautiful. And there's no minimum for account opening at TastyWorks, right?
There's no minimum, but we suggest $2,000 because that's the FINRA minimum for a margin account. Mm-hmm. But the cool thing at TastyWorks is when you sign up, you can sign up for the works, which means we don't have all those permissioning and all those levels that every firm has. You don't have to, once you go apply for the works, you're just approved for everything.
Oh, that's killer. That's a really
so you don't have to deal with all the crazy suitability stuff.
Do you get any day trading buying power in TastyWorks?
Sure. If you have over $25,000, you get 4 to 1.
Got it. 4 to 1 if you have over 25,000. Beautiful.
Yeah, 4 to 1 intraday.
Yeah.
4 to 1 intraday if you have over 25,000. It's 2 to 1 if it's 2 to 1 overnight.
Mm-hmm. Oh, makes sense. Well, I mean, I was just asking because these are some questions that were popping up in the chat pane as I was.
Sure, just fire away. Whatever you want to ask, because I can't see the chat, but whatever you want.
No worries at all. Drake says, looks like I need to switch brokers. I've tried TastyWorks, and it really is very useful. It's super easy to download. It can work on both a Mac and a PC, which I know that sounds crazy, but some brokers don't work on Mac and PCs.
Yeah, our stuff was built. So the team that built TastyWorks built Thinkorswim, 19 years ago, and we built this platform 2 years ago. So it's just faster technology. We cut out all the bloat. We kept it as a single screen right in front of you, basically, and cut out all the bloat. Our quotes are not throttled. Our platform can support 50 times the amount of messaging back and forth, and it's very stable, very fast, and very cheap. And that's our goal with a platform. No bloat, no funky stuff. Just give them what they want.
All about the customer, man, customer centric. And I will let everyone know, anyone who's listening, having met Tom in person, you're a great guy, man. Thank you for just being one of the genuine people who actually care, who reply to emails, who's a nice guy in general. You work hard, you create changes, you make disruptions, and you're doing it for the customers, man. So thank you for your time. Thank you for your experience. And thank you for all you've done, Tom. I really appreciate it.
Hey, thanks. I'm sorry I have a cold, so it's okay. The storm.
No worries.
Hopefully next time we talk, it'll be won't have to drag you down with the voice. But thanks everybody for listening, and thanks so much for having me on today. I appreciate the opportunity to just chat anytime you want.
My pleasure, brother. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thanks. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
See you. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Mr. Tom Sosnoff, one of the original creators of Thinkorswim, also the gentleman from Tasty Trades, wearing the beret, and also one of the co-founders of TastyWorks. Great platform. I have used it. Like I said, the OCO order thing, as soon as that's available, I'm sure a lot of you will probably more or less try to pop over and test it out. I will have, and I do have, a link for anyone who wants to access TastyWorks. I have a little, like a referral code. I don't think I actually have it set up yet, but in the post editing, I will give you the links for that if you want to check out the TastyWorks account. Open one up, try it out, price it out, see if it works, see if you like it. It does have some really nifty screens. I do love their option building platforms, and like I said, the OCO order thing, I've mentioned that to Tom before in the past. They're working on it. It'll get there. And anyway, that's just a little bit of a small tidbit from Mr. Tom Sosnoff. Hope you all enjoyed that interview. Thanks so much for listening. You rock.